Hi, this is Christy from birdmentor.com, where I teach advanced skills to beginning birders, and thanks for joining me this morning. So in my past life, I was a documentary photographer, and you might wonder what that has to do with birding, but if you hang out with me for just a few minutes, you'll find out. So when I was first starting out as a photographer, I would give myself a really hard time if I missed a shot because I was either a second too slow, or maybe my settings weren't right. And it felt like a really big deal to me to miss these shots because doing documentary work, you only get one chance to get that perfect shot. And if you miss it, that's it, because the whole point is to allow the moment to unfold naturally, right? So I ended up with this belief that I just wasn't very good, because if I was, I wouldn't have missed the shots. And I carried this story around with me for a number of years. That was until I met one of my role models in photography, Nevada Weir. So Nevada is a well-known National Geographic photographer, and she was doing a workshop one night where she was sharing her tips on how to take great photographs. So of course I was there. And as she was flipping through her slideshow of stunning imagery, she paused at one of them to tell us how she got that shot. And it was an image that I remember seeing in the magazine just a few years back. She told us everything that she had to do to get set up for that shot, like where she had to stand and how she had to get prepared and all the settings that she used. And she ended her story by saying something that I'll never forget. She said to us, she said, "You think these are great images? You should have seen all the ones I missed along the way." I almost couldn't believe what I was hearing. Nevada Weir miss a shot? No way. This statement changed everything for me. It helped me to see that even the best of the best miss those dreamy shots once in a while. And what I internalized from that was that I wasn't a bad photographer. I was just human. This is a really common pattern amongst beginning birders. I find that if they can't identify a bird within the first moment that they've seen it, they think that they're not very good at birding. This isn't true. And I don't know, has that ever happened for you? You know, a good example of this is when someone sees a bird and they ask me what it might be, and then I ask them, well, was it bigger than a crow or smaller than a crow? And without even thinking about it, they say, I don't know. So I want you to try and go a little bit easier on yourself and give yourself the moment and have a little patience to just try to recall what you actually saw. After Nevada said what she did that night, I didn't suddenly stop missing shots. Instead, I actually just started to trust myself more often. I started to forgive myself, which allowed me to be more courageous and more free with what I was trying. And in the end, I ended up getting some pretty darn good shots. So get out there and start trusting yourself. Start trusting what you're hearing. Trust what you're seeing. Because I bet that you actually know more than you think you know. You just need to be a little bit more patient with yourself and a little bit more forgiving. All right, folks, if you have any stories of a bird that recently taught you a lesson, I'd love to hear about it. So please head on over to the Bird Mentor Facebook page and share your story there so everyone can learn from it. All right, until next week, please get out there and help spread some bird love in the world. Thanks for joining me.